On today's show, Robby Kalland of CBS Sports is back to dive into the Southwest Division, and of course, that includes a team the Hawks will be keeping very close tabs on this year. That, of course, is the New Orleans Pelicans. We'll get into how all of the division looks and more coming up.
You are Locked On Hawks, your daily Atlanta Hawks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 2065 of the Locked On Hawks podcast. I am your host, Brad Rowland, coming to you on a Sunday evening into Monday here at the end of September. And today's podcast is sponsored by the folks at FanDuel Sportsbook. And right now, if you're a new customer, you bet just $5. And if your first bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. I also want to encourage you at the top of the podcast, as I always do, to make Locked On Hawks your first listen each and every day. Check us out. Subscribe to the podcast anywhere you find your podcasts. That includes Apple and Spotify. We are also on YouTube, so please like this video, leave a comment, leave a rating, leave a review, and of course, subscribe and tell your friends about this podcast. As you're listening to this on Monday, perhaps, Media Day is actually today. I'm recording this late tonight, but Media Day is Monday, September 29th, so plenty to get into in the unofficial start of the season for the Hawks. I'll be in the building for all the lead up from Quinn Snyder and the entire roster. Today's show, we'll be diving into the New Orleans Pelicans as part of the Southwest Division Over-Under Series. If you missed this last week, I began my annual, and it is an annual series with myself and Robby Kalland of CBS Sports with the Pacific Division, and today is the Southwest. The Pelicans are only one of the teams in the division, but they're the one the Hawks will have the closest ties to this year, as the Hawks are basically just rooting against them all year long. That's coming up in a second. Also, if you missed it, I broke down Auntie Soleil's comments on Friday. Auntie did kind of a pre-media day press conference from the GM standpoint. That was an interesting discussion, and I played the entire video for you on this podcast feed, plus my own breakdowns of what he actually had to say. And then I'll have a new show after the festivities on Monday and media day to break down all of what was said from Quinn and the players. So busy season, of course. Stay tuned, as we'll be busy throughout the season. And if you missed anything from the summer, it's still very relevant at this point in time too. Player capsules and deep dives and all that fun stuff. But without any further delay, we'll dive in right now to myself, Robby Kalland, talking about the Southwest Division, and of course, later on in the podcast, the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm joined once again by my good friend, Robby Kalland. And to go behind the curtain a little bit, we already recorded most of this conversation about the Southwest Division. But then, Robby, we were actually lucky enough, honestly, I hadn't posted it yet, and there was a major injury that wasn't so lucky. So we'll begin with the team that we started with on our original recording, and that team is the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets got some really bad news on Monday, September 22nd. Fred VanVleet is going to miss the season, that looks like, by all accounts. Torn ACL, awful news there. That changes a lot of things for Houston. And beyond the reality of just losing a good player, they're also in a spot where actually Hawks fans will know this, at least the diehards will. Houston's like right up against the second apron, and they don't have a lot of flexibility to like go even add somebody. That's why the Hawks were able to get in Foy Dante without the Rockets matching it. So that's not the most important thing here. But I mean, the Rockets number at FanDuel is now 52.5, and spoiler, it was 55.5 a few hours ago. So it's a 3-win drop for Fred VanVleet. What do you react to that? And then where are we out of the Rockets now?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's interesting when we talked about this earlier. One of my concerns was like, what's the point guard depth? It was I literally talked about point guard, and because I was concerned, Fred VanVleet didn't have his best year last year. And it was like, what if Fred VanVleet's on the decline? That's going to be a problem for this team because they don't have a lot of guys to replace him with that you really trust, especially for a team that has aspirations of a deep playoff run. Well, now you're not going to have Fred VanVleet at all. No matter what level he was going to be at. That's huge for them on both sides of the ball. I think, something that's interesting about this Rockets team is they're going to have I think they're going to see a pretty big shift in terms of team identity this year. They're going to have to be a really good offensive team. We talked initially about their, 5th in defense last year, I think 12th in offense, he said. And, you had Kevin Durant. Obviously the plan is we want to get better on offense. But if you lose Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet, those are your 2 point of attack defenders. It's those two and Amen Thompson. And so you're going to be putting a lot on Amen and his shoulders, especially if you're playing Reed Shepherd more. It's going to be – they're going to have to score more because without VanVleet and without Brooks in your defensive rotation, you should take a step backwards defensively. Like, I think KD is underrated in terms of what he can do defensively. But he's kind of a guy who kind of augments what you do defensively. And like, when you lose 2 of your 3 key point of attack defenders, that's huge for a team that kind of needs that, especially when you got Şengün out there, who is a guy who will be in the correct spots and can do things, but he doesn't clean up mistakes. Steven Adams kind of does, but like those two, like they built the whole thing out of the fact that you have really good point of attack defense, and you have guys on the back end that aren't going to be out of position. But like now it's gonna be interesting to see how that shifts, how they have to kind of change their identity a little bit. We were pretty solidly on the under, I think. At least I was initially. This team still could obviously get to where they want to go, but there's no replacement options. There's no way they can go out and do anything.
Right.
And so I still have the under on the Rockets at 52.5. I think 3 wins is probably about right, given what the rest of the point guard situation there is, which is a giant question mark.
Yeah. And I know I don't hear people saying it, like clearly they will be in the market for a trade mid-season if they need to make one, but all the wins count. Like this is a regular season exercise.
Correct. Yeah.
If they make a move mid-season, like that will help them from that point forward. But if they have issues before that, and Reed Shepherd is a giant question. I mean, I was pointing out to people today, like, hey, they did use the 3rd pick in the draft 15 months ago on a point guard. Like in theory, he'd be ready to go, but I think it'll be a lot of Thompson in that role. Yeah, and I think they're going to have to try. I mean, they were already going to play Reed Shepherd some this year after they have Aaron Holiday. Aaron Holiday is fine, but he's not really like a initiator point guard. He's more of that 3D point guard type. So a really interesting team. Obviously, they add KD, they add Dorian Finney-Smith, they add Capella. They lose guys. I think they're still better than they were last year.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where they were. Like last year they won 52 games. Now they're projected to be basically be the same level of team.
Yeah, I mean the rosters, but like the backcourts, I don't think the backcourt's now worse, and so it's now
they have a better team beyond this spot. But yeah, point guard is much worse.
And so now you kind of have. Now what I'm interested to see is you already kind of created a bit of a log jam at the forward spot. Like, does this accelerate the fact that they probably need to trade a Jabari Smith Jr.? They probably need to do they start actively considering moving some of those assets that they've tried not to move? Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr.,
that's really
Reed Shepherd even. Like, do you start to listen to the offers on those if you can get a high-level veteran point guard? Because when you go out and you trade for Kevin Durant, even if you don't have to give up a ton, which I don't think I don't think either of us think moving Jalen Green and the number 10 overall pick and Dillon Brooks was like some crazy, haul that Phoenix got. You still you move for Kevin Durant because you want your window now. You don't. You want to win in the next 2 or 3 years. They still haven't re-signed KD either. He hasn't signed an extension. So really this year is the only for sure window.
It's brutal anyway. I mean, obviously everybody loves Fred VanVleet, a grinder, like everybody loves the guy. That's brutal enough. Then you throw in the fact that Houston is right up against a threshold where they can't do much other than make a trade. They can't sign somebody. And they're not like all in. Like you just said, they've done a good job rationing their assets. But you don't trade for KD unless you think you're going to win the championship, at least that you can. And to have that happen right now
brutal.
I mean, I saw people arguing this today. We can move on, but like, was he the most irreplaceable player on the roster? Not the best player,
correct?
But like, and it's like maybe I don't know if that's for sure true.
There's a very reasonable argument.
So it's obviously not great. We both lean under. It seems like now, even with the adjusted number 52.5 at FanDuel, but I was not expecting to have to do an update before we posted the podcast on the Rockets, but we've not done
6 hours ago.
Our first segment is done. After a word from our partners, we'll dive back in on the rest of the Southwest Division. Today's just brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5-Hour Energy shots deliver 50 caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes as well. What I love most is how portable and convenient 5-Hour Energy shots are. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere and get that boost when you actually need it or when you just want it. quite frankly. I also love and reach for my favorite flavor, which is watermelon, because it's the refreshing taste that I actually like and also gives me that quick lift throughout my day or even during busy seasons. Basically, before, after, during, it's always there for me. At the same time, I'm the strawberry banana flavor as well. It sounds perfect to try the one that I actually might have next if watermelon's not available to me at that point in time. I also really love how fast 5 energy shots kick in, and that also that they're sugar-free. It gives me the juice that I actually want and that I need without having to worry about crashing at all later. Enough with the boring, flavorless coffee and caffeine and all these kind of things. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade right now with 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get the favorites that you love or be bold and try something new in-store and online at 5hourenergy.com. That is 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today. These days, anyone can advertise and claim that they will handle your injury case, but some are not even real lawyers, just out-of-state companies trying to cash in. Others might promise lower fees and leave you with lower settlements, and that is why I would call John Foy Associates. At John Foy Associates, they have a proven track record of getting Georgia clients real results for more than 25 years. They don't just settle, they win. I love that they treat every single client with dignity, compassion, and respect, and they're available 24/7 to take your call. And the best part is you pay absolutely nothing until John Foy wins your case, no upfront costs. If I get into a wreck, I know exactly who I would call, and that is the Strong Arm. I trust John Foy Associates because they've helped thousands of clients get justice and real money in their pockets. So don't try to fight the insurance companies alone. Call John Foy Associates today at 404-400-4000. That's 404-400-4000 or visit johnfoy.com to get started. They don't just settle, they win. Get the Strong Arm. Call attorney John Foy Associates today. Big drop now after Houston in the Southwest.
Yes.
The San Antonio Spurs are next at 44.5 at FanDuel. Last year they won 34 games.
Correct.
So that's a big jump ahead. Now the data was actually worse than that, which is interesting. But of course, you got Wembanyama's injury. So, well, ailment, however you want to say that. Wemby played 46 games.
Yep.
They were 21-25 with Wemby, which is way better, but also not 44 win better.
Yep.
They do have De'Aaron Fox now.
Yep.
He was not very good in San Antonio last year, but in his defense,
played almost all of that without Wemby.
I say Mitzi's in trade, and very rarely was he playing with Wemby. They do also lose Chris Paul, who played all 82 last year and was quite good. They lose not much else. Charles Bassey, Blake Wesley, etc. They do add Dylan Harper, who I like quite a bit, but who's going to be a rookie. And Robbie,
well, the rookies
are bad.
Rookies are bad,
particularly 19-year-old
rookie point guards.
Rookie
guards, not good.
And then
like he's a guy.
They add Luke. They add Luke Cornett, who I like. They add Carter Bryant, another rookie who will be a rookie. I don't know, man. I can say this with confidence. I like the under on the Spurs.
Yep.
And I also am prepared if Wemby wants to go nuclear and beat me, that's fine. He might do it, but I will. This number came out 44.5. I was like borderline aghast at how high it was. So I will go under, and it's one of my stronger plays.
I would agree. Just again, like we talked, like somebody in the West isn't going to be that good, and I think they're just better teams. I think the Spurs are going to be competitive. I don't think a lot of people I don't think teams are going to enjoy playing the Spurs because Wemby is a monster, and he is a problem defensively that nobody has figured out how to solve. I mean, on the defensive end, like he is just a guy that just like wrecks your entire offense. It's unbelievable to watch. I hope we get a full season of him just because he's going to put up a stat line we haven't seen in like decades.
He's absurd.
He is hysterically good at basketball, but he is still, 21, 22 years old?
And he just missed a long time.
He's still
going to be awesome, but he did just miss a lot of time and had a legitimate health thing. And
could be some stuff coming back. Like, he's doing everything he can this summer. He's training with KG and Hakeem and Monks, and he's literally just like traveling the world.
I think he's going to be awesome. I just don't think the rest of the team is ready yet.
I think that's fair. I like Devin Vassell. I'm interested.
No, Devin Vassell is fine.
I want to see how he does as like a legit, like kind of like number 3 now, with more of a defined role. I don't know much about Mitch Johnson as coach. Like
that's another one where I'm
what that looks like. Perhaps it's good, perhaps it's not good. Obviously they kept it in the family, which is expected, but for years it was, they had all these coaches that were the next, it was going to be Bud, and it was going to be, Will Hardy, maybe Becky Hammond, like all these names. And then it's kind of Mitch Johnson, who wasn't ever this is going to be the one.
Yep.
And so I just think there's a lot of uncertainty with how it all comes together. I think Wembanyama is going to be a top 5 guy in the league. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Next year, he's going to be a top 5 guy in the league. But I just don't know if that – I think especially at his position, I think that there's a limitation on how much his offensive impact will be as a non-facilitating big. But he's going to do some hysterical stuff.
No, he might beat me by himself, and I'm prepared for that.
He could happen.
I think not to go player by player, but I think I'm a little bit lower on like basically everyone on the Spurs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I'm not a De'Aaron Fox guy. He's good. I'm not as high as most people are on him. Stephon Castle, I'm not a Stephon Castle guy. I thought he was like pretty unimpressive last year.
Anti-Newton County bias.
No, it's not. I know that's your guy. I understand. Hometown figure. Wow. No, I think he's fine. I just think people like act like he's gonna be a star now. It's like I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And also beyond individual pieces, there isn't enough shooting on this team.
Yeah,
like it's basically just Vassell and Harrison Barnes, and everybody else can't shoot, which is not my favorite thing around Wemby. Sure. So anyway, Mitch Johnson too. I'm glad you brought that up. Not that he's gonna be bad, but he might be. We don't.
We're talking about with the Suns. Like you just don't know.
Same exact thing.
Don't know.
It's not. At least with Mitch Johnson. Like I think I would rather have him than Doug Christie.
hey.
But yeah, he's not established. So yeah, under on the Spurs. Maybe I'll look silly. Matthew Tynan, get at me. You can yell at me if you want to. Our guy, but no, thank you.
Shout out to Matt
on the Spurs. To the Dallas Mavericks, 41.5 is the number at FanDuel for Dallas.
Dude,
they won 39 last year. Of course, it was kind of a bizarre season for the Mavs. Obviously, the trade was the trade. AD played 9 games total after the trade. Also,
eye surgery.
He had lots of things. I don't know. He
just had eye surgery. Yes. Like, what is happening?
But also beyond the AD thing, Kyrie played 50 games last year.
He will not play 50 games.
He's not playing 50 games this year. He might not play at all. He might play, but it won't be for a while.
25. He might play 30. He might play 9.
And if he does play, he's a guy in his 30s coming up in ACL. They had Cooper Flagg, who I love Cooper Flagg. I think he's going to be awesome. I think he's going to avoid a lot of the rookiness that some other guys do, but he is still a rookie, Robbie. He probably won't be fully formed as a rookie at 19.
I don't think so.
And then they add nothing else. I mean, they add D'Angelo Russell to kind of maybe help plug the Kyrie hole a little bit.
Noted winning impact guy, D'Angelo Russell.
I mean, I will say I understood that signing because
I did too. You had to get somebody.
Nico is not in a position apparently to retrench. They should be rebuilding, and they're not. That's kind of my take.
Dude, they gave so much money this summer to Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington.
They're just
that.
Nico's
they're trading one of them, but
yeah, and they still have 80s.
Jared Lively, I still like, but 80s, like I don't like him without Luka as much.
Agreed. 80's a center on a team that has Gafford and Lively on it already. This is a fair number.
Yep.
But I'm going to have the under on the Dallas Mavericks. At least the lean. That would be where I'd lean on Dallas because of the Kyrie factor. I mean, there's legitimate talk. People that are plugged in, like Tim McMahon, it's like they might be playing Cooper Flagg at point guard. And I like Cooper Flagg. He ain't ready for that, brother. At the NBA level. So, I mean, if you look at the roster, it's D'Angelo Russell and what else? They don't have another. I mean, they have Dante Exum. They have who they just brought back at the last minute. Like he wasn't even going to be on the team. They don't have. I mean, they have Jaden Hardy, who's more of a scorer.
Will Klay Thompson running the point?
I mean, Klay can't dribble. I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, Ryan Nembhard, who they got undrafted rookie, like he could play point guard, but he's like 5'10".
He is not tall. Hey,
they don't have ball. They don't have
a short point guard.
They don't have ball handling. So that's the reason why. All joking aside, the reason why I will have the under on Dallas is that a bad point guard situation is a quick way to lose games, and they have one.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen, like, especially if you're built around a bunch of big guys, who's getting them the ball in their spots.
I mean, even AD, who's like a Hall of Fame guy, like he's not like a initiator.
I mean, we've talked about this for years with the Lakers. Like we talked about with the Lakers, like somebody has to get AD the basketball where he wants it. He cannot create for himself facing up from 18 feet away, except for in the bubble where he shoots 1,000,000,000%. But like, I think you look at the roster and you're like, yeah, that's a lot of good basketball players. But who's dribbling and passing?
Yeah, if they had Kyrie, and look, Kyrie might play. Like, I think this number is baking in some Kyrie.
I think they're baking in Kyrie from end of January on. I think he comes back All-Star breakish.
And I'm what's that? 25 games, 30 games.
Yeah,
I'm skeptical that he'll be as good as he usually is, and they might be bad before then. Like, I just don't think this. If you just say, okay, what's this team without Kyrie? They're not a 500 team without Kyrie.
Well, and also if he's coming back off an ACL, he's probably not playing back-to-backs.
Yeah.
So like you're not playing. It's not like he's going to suddenly come back and be 35 minutes every night. If he's coming back that quick, it probably starts with a minutes restriction. No back-to-back. I would be shocked if he plays back-to-back all year.
I would be that. I think people are maybe not remembering that they only won 39 last year. And I know a lot of things happened because
they kind of like tanked at the end.
They kind of did, but like they were still going to win they might have won 41, 42. And they were like much better constructed, and Kyrie played 50 games. Yeah. So I'm going to be on the under on Dallas. Not like a slam dunk. I get it. There's a way for them to go over. I can see it, but I would lean to the under. The NFL season is here. FanDuel has an offer that you actually do not want to miss. Right now, if you're a new customer, you bet just $5, you get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet right now. Put down $5. If it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app. FanDuel is great in so many ways, and one of the reasons that actually fits how you like to bet on your own, whether it's player props, same-game parlays, straight bets. They have over-unders and point spreads, money lines, futures. They even have live betting as the action unfolds as well. It makes watching football even more exciting when you have a little bit something extra riding on the action. And they have every sport you can think of beyond football as well. They have the NBA, of course, which we discuss all the time on this podcast. They have baseball. They have hockey, golf, tennis. They have soccer, both domestic and international leagues. They have F1. They have NASCAR, boxing, MMA, and so much more. Whether you're a casual fan or just love diving into all the stats, FanDuel makes everything with a game day experience so much better. FanDuel is quick. It's easier to fast pay out when you win, and it's the best way to add a little bit more energy to your game day. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app and get started today. All right, two more teams. This is one of my best plays. Foreshadowing. The Memphis Grizzlies. 40.5 is the number at FanDuel. Robbie, Memphis is better than Dallas. This number's too low.
Yep.
This is my maybe favorite play. I'm on the over on Memphis. Here's a couple reasons why.
Not often on the over on Memphis either.
I'm not a Memphis guy traditionally. This number is far too low. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. They won 48 last year.
Correct.
And basically everything went wrong last year, and they won 48 games. They had a better net rating last year than the Rockets. Again, they had a better net rating last year than the Rockets. And yeah, I understand they traded Desmond Bane. That makes them worse. I'm not saying they're better than last year. They're not. They got worse. But they had the bizarre coaching situation last year where they had Taylor Jenkins, who we covered in Atlanta, but they hired him an all new assistant core that weren't his guys. They put in an offense that Ja hated. Then they fired the assistants in the middle of the season. And then they fired Taylor in the middle of the season. That all happened, and they won 48 games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand this number. It's just, I don't get it. Strong over.
Is Desmond Bane an 8-win player?
Like, he's good. They got worse, but I think people are like way overselling how much they got. Because look, yeah, they also lost Luke Kennard, who I like. They lost Jay Huff, but they brought in. They didn't just not replace. They brought in Ty Jerome was awesome last year in Cleveland. Yeah. KCP's still an NBA player. Like, he's a usable shooting guard.
Awful in Orlando, but that was a terrible situation.
Like, I like Desmond Bane. He's not this good to be losing this many wins off this. No. So they have a new coach. I get that. But like,
better.
Yeah, I mean, he's banged up right now. But like, as long as he plays some,
Jaren,
what I'm not doing is telling you Ja's going to play 70
more
games.
Than 50 games. Yeah,
but he doesn't need to.
No, he played 50 last year. They won 48. Ja played 50.
Over
in Memphis. They lost Marcus Smart, who's bad. Traded him in the middle of the year last year. I was shocked when I saw this number. I expected them to be where the Spurs were. I expected 44.5. I thought that would have been a very fair number.
Yeah.
Like, Desmond, like you said, Desmond Bane's a good player, but like, this does seem disrespectful to Ja, to what Jaren Jackson Jr. was unbelievable.
Yeah,
for much of last year, like he kind of like tapered off towards the end in the midst of, as you explained, a ridiculous situation. They have a new coach. I don't know what Isalo's like. Again, could be good, could be bad. Who knows? But I don't think it's this bad. And they're going to be trying to win. Like it's not like there's some like. I think there was this when they traded Bane. There was this like, oh my god, like are the Grizzlies going to rebuild? Are they going to trade Ja? Are they going to trade Jaren?
No, they're doing a retool.
They gave Jaren $1 million, like not $1 million, like hundreds of millions of dollars. And they realized they need to restructure.
Kleiman said the thing. I know you probably write about it a million times too. He said the thing where he basically was like, "We're not good. Like we're not good enough," and that I think set off people's alarm. And I get it, and he acknowledged that, but they didn't tear the roster down.
No, he said that we're not good enough, and what that meant is we're not good enough to be a second apron team.
Right, and they have real depth too. Like that's the thing. Like regular season wise, they got 10, 11, 12 guys you can play.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Back.
This might be the one number on the board where I'm like, I don't get the number. That's how much I am over on this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be wrong.
I think it's a 44 win team. 45.
I look forward to my friend Tyler Jones, who lives in Memphis, yelling at me about how I'm too high on the Grizzlies. But it's fine. I've not been a Grizzlies guy. I've been lower on the Grizzlies than a lot of people have.
I get killed every year because I don't get it. I'm Grizzlies under like constantly because I don't think Ja's going to play that much. But like,
if you wanted to take out of me, this is the one. Too low on the Grizzlies. Too low.
Yeah.
We're probably rightly accused sometimes of being a little bit too on some of these. But also, as we say every year, you don't have to bet all 30. Like you probably should. You probably should only have a couple you like.
You should.
This is one of the ones that I like.
Yep.
Grizzlies over.
Yep.
All right, last one, Robbie, in this division is the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, a preface. It's the Hawks podcast. I did a conversation with Shamadua on the podcast a couple weeks ago, where we talked about all the things with the Pelicans. The Hawks have a vested interest in the Pelicans being bad. They're rooting for it. And I think with good reason. The Pelicans should be not very good. The number, though, for our purposes, the number is 29.5 at FanDuel. Some relevant numbers here for you, Robbie.
Please.
They won 21 games last year.
They sure did. They were bad.
Point differential of an 18-win team last year. Now, what I am not saying is that they are that team. They had a disastrous injury situation last year. Zion missed 52 games. DeJounte missed 51 games. Herb Jones missed 62 games. Brandon Ingram barely played. Then he got traded. Trey Murphy missed 29 games. There was one player in the opening night rotation for the Pelicans who played more than 57 games last year.
Yves Missy.
And it was a rookie.
Yves Missy.
Who was bad?
They had two players that played more than 57 games, and it was Yves Missy and Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
Who wasn't supposed to be on the team, I don't think, even. Maybe, or not on the rotation.
He played 66 games, Brad.
So there was all that said. Like, obviously, the roster is better than that. But here's the other part of this, Robbie. And I know you're not thinking about Pelicans as much as I am right now because it has to do with the Hawks directly. So this is a team I'm looking at very closely. The Pelicans also lost CJ McCollum, who's a professional. They traded him.
They did.
They lost other guys too, like Kelly Olynyk, whatever. They had Jordan Poole, who was good last year, actually, in Washington. Not maybe good, too strong. Who was fine last year in Washington. It was better.
Yeah.
But then they also brought in 2 one-and-done lottery pick rookies.
They did.
Jeremiah Fears, Derek Queen. Jeremiah Fears might be the most screaming example of a guy who's going to be bad this year in the entire league. And that's, by the way, independent of his draft evaluation, Jeremiah Fears is a 19-year-old rookie point guard. And unless you are Chris Paul, or maybe if you're Trae Young from like January on, everybody else stinks in that role.
Bad.
Everybody else. And that's even if you're like a better prospect than Jeremiah Fears is. And he's not as good as Trae Young was or as good as Chris Paul was. Then you throw in the fact that Derek Queen, who I honestly kind of like, But Derek Queen is the kind of player that is not going to be good as a rookie in the league.
No, he's going to be high. He's probably just going to be a highly inefficient scorer.
Yeah, I mean he's an undersized
in his first year. Like
he's an undersized.
He's got to figure out his spots in the NBA because like the spots in college aren't going to be the spots.
He can't play defense right now at the NBA level.
It's going to be an adventure for.
So there's that side of things. Those two guys don't help you win, flat out. Maybe Pelicans fans will disagree with, and they're going to play. You would think because Troy Weaver / Joe Dumars state the reputation on both of them. So there's that side of it. This is a long-winded thing, but I promise it all matters. The other side of this is, of course, they owe an unprotected pick to the Hawks.
They sure do.
So they have no incentive to lose, except for the rookies make you lose. So I don't know what to do with that, Robbie. This is we're gonna Shaman and I did this for like an hour, so we won't do that. But what do you think about the Pelicans? Because this is an interesting number. They put it pretty low. It's in the 20s.
They did put it low. Here's the thing. I have tried to figure out what the Pelicans are for many years in a row, and I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like, I'm not going to invest anything. Like, I've had unders, I've had overs. I think I've lost both. I don't want anything to do with it financially. That said, they have guys like, I think Trey Murphy is a star.
I think Trey Murphy's very good.
Trey Murphy could be the guy somewhere. Like, I may be preposterously high on Trey Murphy.
I think you are based on only that comment. I think you are, but that's okay. I like Trey Murphy.
Okay, maybe not the guy, but he could be a very good number 2 somewhere. Like, he's so good, and like they just don't run anything through him. Like anyway, their whole setup drives me nuts with the talent they have.
They do have talent. So Zion's still here. Like they didn't trade Zion. I'm just gonna name some guys they have on the roster. People don't know. Like they have Zion, they have Murphy, they have Herb Jones. Jordan Poole is an NBA player who can score.
DeJounte.
They still have DeJounte post Achilles. I don't know how it's gonna go, but he's on the team. Like those are real guys. Beyond that, Jose Alvarado, good backup point guard, legitimately good backup point guard. There are 3 questions here. One of them is
missing 2. He was impressive.
Yeah, one of them is health. Obviously, Zion's health is always a thing, but it matters a lot. Their front court in general, because like Misi's fine-ish, but like Kevon Looney is there, Derek Queen is there.
Yeah, they got Looney.
If Zion gets hurt, I don't know what they're going to do there. And then like the backcourt, like if DeJounte may not be ready to go for a while, and if he's not ready to go, it's Jeremiah Fears, it's Jose Alvarado trying to initiate offense. Like I don't know, man. Poole's man. So
dude, I don't know what this team.
Lots of words. I think I'd be on the under on the Pelicans if you made me choose. But this is the ultimate stay away from me. Long preamble, stay away. I'm out.
I'll say this: the books did a good job with this number because it's not so enticing on either end. Where I'm like, this is ridiculous.
If Zion plays 65 games, they're going over this. I think.
Okay.
But I mean, but he doesn't do that.
Okay, Peter Pan.
Well, I didn't say 80. I didn't say 80 games. I said 65. It's fine.
There's more times Zion played 65. Has he ever?
No, I mean, he has a couple times. Maybe
he's played 270. He did play 70 once last year. 2 years ago. Sorry, he played
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's played.
But he's played 214 games in 6 seasons.
But he is the kind of player who could beat this number almost on his own.
Absolutely, if he's healthy, engaged, whatever.
But all the conflicting incentives are what I can't get over. Like Willie Green, and Shaywood says on the podcast that he reports from the Pelicans, he was like, look, Willie Green's in an impossible spot. And he's 100% right because Willie Green is like on the verge of being fired, right? Willie Green's going to try to win games.
Yes.
And Willie Green, if you try to win games, the way to do that is to not play Jeremiah Fears. And like, if you're Troy Weaver, you can't let your coach not play Jeremiah Fears. So it's like, what are you going to do there? I don't really know. And Derek Queen. So
how is it 2025 and we have a front office of Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver running an NBA basketball team?
Listen, every single Hawks fan right now is telling you that they are gleeful about that pairing being in the front office. Back-to-back years, Robbie. Now, granted, it was 2 different front offices, but one time the Pelicans traded the Hawks Dyson Daniels and 2 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray, and then a year later they said, you know what we'll do now? Trade an unprotected pick in the following year's draft when we're going to be bad probably to go up 10 spots in the draft. Derek Queen. That's happening.
That might. I mean, we were like, all right, what are the protections?
None. Every time, and you do the same conversations that I have. Every time I talk to someone from around the league, media member, team person, scout, whatever. Every time I talk about everyone,
unprompted,
everyone talks about how that deal is insane. Everyone, and people that don't know me, people that listen to me all the time, know that I don't do this very often. I don't go over the top very often, and I did for that trade. I was like A+++++++, whatever you want to say. And then people on YouTube, they're like, "Oh, this guy's such a homer." I'm like, no. Everyone in the league is like, "What is going on with this trade? It's insane." And look, maybe the Pelicans win 30 games. Very possible. Maybe they go over this number. Very possible. Which is why I'm not betting it. My one strong play in this division, Memphis over. Not Pelicans under. Now, for the Hawks, it's the Hawks podcast. The number one thing that could happen in this entire season, arguably, other than stuff the Hawks
21
themselves,
Pelicans.
Would be 18 win Pelicans. Yeah. Just be fantastic stuff if that would happen. But they can go over too. So weird team, man.
I just don't want anything. Like don't put financial, especially because this is a Hawks podcast. You already have emotional investment in the Pelicans being bad. You do not need to add financial investment to that.
I'd almost argue to put you over.
If anything, emotional hedge over.
Yeah, I'd almost
if
argue.
You really like, if you're listen, you're here, you're on the Locked On Hawks podcast. You're a diehard.
You're probably a diehard. Yeah.
You should not put financial investment on top of just being able to root for you can root for their demise without having your wallet impacted. Do that.
And there's still a way. Look,
there's so much talent.
If you do the emotional hedge, there's still a way for the Pelicans to win like 30 or 31 and still go in the lottery, like number 6 in the lottery, and get lucky and there's a way to do both. It's still out there for you. So
you can hit that sweet middle.
What a weird team. I mean, independent of the Hawk stuff, which you can't do, but if this was locked on Cavs right now, and we're talking about the Pelicans, what a bizarre team.
I don't understand them.
Because again, they
organizationally, I don't understand.
They chose to trade their own pick unprotected in the coming season, not 5 years ahead of time.
Yep.
This coming season, they said, this is our. They looked at the roster they have right now.
Not only was it their unprotected pick, it also could be Milwaukee's.
It's a double. Yeah, exactly. Double.
Who lost the guy who lost their second best player to an Achilles, and you knew that. It wasn't like
they sat down and said
later.
They sat down and said, "This is our roster right now. We're going to trade our unprotected pick this coming season."
Listen,
to go up 10 spots.
Think Trey Murphy is capable.
I mean, they do think Trey Murphy's awesome, and that's fine.
Well, they should run an offense that gives him more than he had the 4th most shots on the team last year.
I didn't realize you were Trey Murphy pilled. This is new. I didn't know.
Excuse me. 5th.
I really did not know that you were Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy taking the 5th most shots on your team. Grow up. Grow up, Pelicans.
That's where we're leaving this podcast. That's it. Grow up, Pelicans. Just not too quickly. Wait till next year to grow up if you're a Hawks fan. Robby, thank you for doing this. This is the end of the Western Conference. More to come on the East in the coming days. Follow Robby. I'm going to do all the plugs right now. Ready? At Kalland on Twitter, Blue Sky, etc. Are you on Instagram, Kalland too? I can't remember.
You like food posts every month and a half.
Perfect. Also, the podcast, America's only hostless podcast with Robby, mostly featuring Robby, Chip, and Tom. Correct. And then also CBS Sports, where Robby covers all things. Basketball, golf, football. Yep. What else do you do? Tennis? What else?
Been known to do tennis. I'll be running some Olympic stuff next year. It's
everything but baseball, basically, is what Robby's beat is.
Don't do baseball. Don't do baseball.
If you ever need baseball help, let me know. All right, that's it for us on this one. Please stay tuned. Subscribe to Locked On Hawks. Check out all of Robby's fantastic content, and we'll see everybody next time.